What's good is your guy L Selector. I'm back at it again. You dig? You know what I mean? I'm back. I'm here live right now. This is a live stream. We're going at it tonight. So, I should have been on this live stream a few days ago, but, you know, things I had to do, you see what I'm saying? So, better late than never. You feel me? So, I'm in here. The live is official. You see what I'm saying? Today's topic I have, I'm going straight right into it. Should Kawhi Leonard have stayed in Toronto? You know what I mean? Was he better off leaving or was he better off staying? So I'm going to go straight into it. As you know, the Toronto Raptors were defeated in the NBA playoffs. They ended up losing to the Boston Celtics that currently are going up against, the Miami Heat right now in the NBA Eastern Conference Final. And for those who don't know, the Los Angeles Clippers got eliminated in the playoffs as well. But they got eliminated to the Denver Nuggets, you see what I'm saying, which was very unexpected. Salute to the guy Jamal Murray, you see what I'm saying, salute to Jokic. So to the whole entire Denver Nuggets staff for pulling the upset and eliminating Kawhi Leonard and getting these guys out of here. You see what I'm saying? They got the Clippers out of here. Clippers were expected to make it to the NBA Finals. You see what I'm saying? But that is not happening, and that will not be happening because of what happened. You see what I'm saying? Basically, long story short, Kawhi Leonard left in the offseason. After winning the NBA championship, it's being reported. Some people are saying that Kawhi Leonard basically was just like, nah, the Toronto Raptors don't have enough to win the NBA Finals. So Kawhi Leonard basically bounced. I don't know how true that is. The media, you can't really trust everything they say, but it's being reported that. So basically, he ended up leaving. And what happened next? He ended up going to the Clippers. He ended up forming a super team. You see what I'm saying? Well, not a super team, but he had a good Robin. He was playing Batman, and he had a good Robin and Paul George. But things don't always go as planned in life. You see what I'm saying? And basically, what happened next was Kawhi Leonard ended up getting their ass handed to him. They were up 3-1 in the NBA Finals. You see what I'm saying? They were up, in the NBA semifinals, in the Western Conference semifinals versus the Nuggets, and they ended up losing. You see what I'm saying? They ended up taking a hit. What? They took the hit. They lost. They got eliminated. Shocking. You see what I'm saying? But, hey, they ended up getting embarrassed, to say the least. And, Kawhi Leonard ended up coming on saying that the team doesn't have great chemistry. I don't know how true accurate this is. There's reports that Kawhi Leonard is not really feeling the team right now, and he's just not liking what he's seeing. Some people are saying he may be injured. Some people are saying, I don't know, he didn't look the same. He didn't look the same when they're playing Game 7. He dropped about 14 points. I think Paul George dropped 10 points. It's horrendous. But they ended up getting eliminated by Jamal Murray, and basically now we're in the same situation and same predicament as the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors, people are reporting and people speculate. If a lot of people know, if Kawhi Leonard had stayed in Toronto, the Raptors would have repeated and became the two-time NBA champions. But he ended up leaving. He said, I don't want to be here. I'm going to head home back to LA. I want to play at home. I want to be able to play in Staples Center. I want to be able to play for the Clippers. They're building a new arena there out in Inglewood. I want to play in that new arena. And what happened next? The pandemic happened. What happened when the pandemic happened? They ended up forming the bubble. You see what I'm saying? So basically what he ended up having to, now he's playing in Orlando. So he wanted to go back home, but now he's playing in Orlando. And what happened next? He got eliminated in the second round. So because he got eliminated in the second round, now he can go back to LA. Toronto Raptors got eliminated in the second round as well. So basically, he left Toronto to go with Paul George and the rest of the guys to basically win an NBA championship there. But what happened next? He ended up leaving. You see what I'm saying? He ended up leaving Toronto. You feel me? And he ended up going with these guys. And what happened next? Toronto got eliminated in the second round. The Clippers got eliminated in the second round. So basically, it's an interesting situation. It's an interesting paradigm, to say the least. You know what I mean? Kawhi Leonard right now is upset. You know what I mean? He must be upset. You know what's going to happen next? He wanted to go home so badly, but now he has to go back to a bubble again, because there's going to be another bubble. The NBA's in talks right now. They're speculating it might be in Las Vegas, in Orlando. They're thinking about doing two bubbles. I don't know how that's going to work, because if they have two bubbles, the West maybe on one side, the East on one side, what are they going to do? Some like, you know what I mean, transportation or flying from, you know what I mean, Orlando to Vegas. I don't know how it's going to work, right? As of right now, they're just trying to figure that out. We'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires, but they're going to be in another bubble. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, too, a lot of people are speculating Doc Rivers should be fired from the Clippers because of the horrendous. He's the king of blowing 3-1 He's the king of just losing. You give him a championship team and he's not going to fulfill that. He won one championship in his lifetime versus the Boston Celtics. If you look at the rosters Doc Rivers had, Doc Rivers should be a 6-time NBA champion right now. But because of the fact that he's not the greatest coach on planet Earth, you see what I'm saying? He's had amazing like rosters that coaches would just beg for. You see what I'm saying? GMs and coaches would beg for. This guy's had the Boston Celtics roster. He once had Tracy McGrady and Grant Hill and Sean Kemp and Patrick Ewing. He once had who else did he have on that team? He also had the Boston Celtics with Kevin Garnett, the big ticket, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, Paul Pierce. He had all these guys. He had the Clippers with the high flying Clipper team with Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Eric Bledsoe, Chris Paul, countless amount of players. JJ Redick. That team should have won at least 2 championships. Then he has the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. It's like Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams, Patrick Beverly, Zubac, just countless amounts of players on that roster, and he still can't win anything. He has the Morrison twin on there. Like, he has so many great talented players, but he can't win anything on that team. And now it's kind of like people are looking, Kawhi Leonard maybe even scratch his head like, yo, was this even the best decision for me? Because let's be real, bro. If he doesn't win a championship with the Clippers, it was a tragedy even him going there. He should have just stayed in Toronto. Toronto was giving him load management. They gave him a restaurant. Any restaurant he wanted was about like hundreds of restaurants saying Kawhi and dine, just come in here, get a free meal, just come chill out. They gave him a penthouse suite downtown, luxury suites downtown. Toronto's a beautiful city, and dude, you know what I mean? I'm talking about creme de la creme city, like the finest of finest. And Kawhi Leonard had all of that in a nutshell. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like this guy had a lot of things there. You know what I mean? He had a lot given to him. Toronto also offered him, you name it, numerous people were offering free penthouses for him. Free. He owns it. Not even like, you're renting it. No, you own it, bro. Like, here, this is all yours. You take it. That's it. It's on the house. You won the championship. You're finals MVP. We need you in this city. And I mean, you're generating a lot of money for the city. You're generating a lot of money for yourself. You're building up your brand. Everyone's talking about you. Kawhi. Kawhi Leonard decided to go back home. A lot of people told him, hey, young fella. You know what I mean? Shaquille O'Neal once said, hey, young fella. You can possibly, just go to home at the end of the season, take the max amount of money, sign another year, maybe then leverage that and sign a super max contract. Let the Raptors pay you $200 million, $240-something million. You see what I'm saying? You can always go home during the offseason. You know what I mean? Now he's out home at the offseason. The Raptors are home. He could have went home if he played for Toronto and they got eliminated second round. He could have just went home to LA. You see what I'm saying? All the players are back to where their resided areas. Some of them might come back to the city. Some of them are like, nah. You see what I'm saying? With the COVID situation and whatnot, it makes no sense for a lot of these guys. Some of these guys are like, nah, I'm not coming back because it makes no sense. You see what I'm saying? But Kawhi Leonard had that opportunity, you feel me, to maybe possibly do something special like the Detroit Pistons once did and win 2 NBA championships. You see what I'm saying? He could have been right there with that 1989-1990 legendary bad boy Piston team where they won 2 back-to-back NBA championships. The Raptors could potentially have done that right now. The Raptors own the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers are projected to win the championship. Raptors have beaten the Lakers 11 times in a row. They're not even the Raptors' competition. You see what I'm saying? With Kawhi Leonard, even without Kawhi Leonard, they still were whooping the Lakers. Kawhi Leonard would have came in and it would have been even easier work for them. You see what I'm saying? But the Lakers were supposed to and were projected to face the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. But the Clippers couldn't even make it. Paul George always folds in the playoffs. Always folds. He's not a guy you can rely on. he's never really done anything. You know what I mean? He's had some battles. You know what I mean? I'm not going to give him that. I'm not going to say he didn't, but he's not, when it comes to his performance, he always falls short. You see what I'm saying? The year before that, what's his name? Hit a shot over his face. Damian Lillard abused him and hit a shot over his face. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like this guy's, you know what I mean? This guy's definitely a guy who falls short whenever the playoffs comes around. You see what I'm saying? This is not a guy who always comes through and holds it down. You see what I'm saying? Paul George is a player. He's a choke. He chokes a lot. He chokes. You know what I mean? Become playoff P. But look at his performances. You see what I'm saying? So Kawhi Leonard is going to have a lot. Next season, he's going to have a lot to think about. You see what I'm saying? Especially when the season comes back, because he has to deal with, what he has to deal with. You see what I'm saying? We all know what he has to deal with. You know what I mean? He's going to have to deal with that. He's going to have to deal with that same roster. And the West is getting only better. Stephen Curry, the Golden State Warriors are coming. You see what I'm saying? Who knows who they're going to pick up during free agency? There's a lot of teams that are just getting better. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be even more tougher for Kawhi Leonard. So was it a good decision for him to leave Toronto? Personally, I don't think so. He was in the Eastern Conference. Miami Heat is no competition for the Toronto Raptors with Kawhi Leonard. Go ask Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler he's still haunted by what Kawhi Leonard did with the game-winning shot last year, the buzzer beater that hit the rim 4 times and went in, and the Raptors iced out the Lakers, and you know what I mean, went on to the Eastern Conference Finals, and you know what I mean, played the Milwaukee Bucks. And go ask Giannis Antetokounmpo what he thought about Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard guarded him, held him, you know what I mean, shut him down. You see what I'm saying? Finished him off, did his thing, did his part. You feel me? And at the end of the day, Kawhi Leonard went on to the NBA Finals. You know what I mean? It was no big. It was not hard. You see what I'm saying? Not the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks were not his competition. You see what I'm saying? Especially when he's playing in Toronto. But now he's on the Clippers, and it's just like, what, the Nuggets is his competition? Is it at that? Come on, man. So I think Kawhi Leonard, honestly, I think he's gonna regret it. He's think back, he'd be like, fuck, man. I had low management. I played when I wanted to. I came out, you see what I'm saying? And, you know, I performed, and I didn't really have to play that hard. They didn't depend on me that much. They depended on me, but not at that level how the Clippers depend on him. You see what I'm saying? The Raptors were A1 franchise with me. I came in, they had the best doctors. You see what I'm saying? They gave me low management. I played every other game. Some games I could just relax. You see what I'm saying? Some people are speculating the man might be injured, like I said before. Is he? I don't know. You see what I'm saying? But like I said before, you know what I mean? He's going to definitely regret leaving Toronto. At first, I thought about it. I was like, I don't know. But they lost in the second round. The Toronto Raptors lost in the second round. And Toronto Raptors came back. It wasn't even like Toronto Raptors showed a fight. You see what I'm saying? They basically showed that they could perform in adversity. Even with Pascal Siakam not playing at his finest, even with Marc Gasol not playing at his finest, the Toronto Raptors were still able to claw back and go to Game 7 with the Boston Celtics. Kawhi Leonard, on the other hand, dude, the guy came in. I'm talking about 3-1 lead, and you blow that? Come on, man. 3-1, and you blow that? Is these the kind of guys you want to play with next season? Doc Rivers? Doc Rivers is, like I said before, man. That guy should be out of there. They should get rid of him. They should go hire somebody else, man. And you know what I mean? Because I think Doc Rivers is the best coach in Los Angeles. I'm sure there's other guys out there that can coach a team that living in the Los Angeles area. Go get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You see what I'm saying? Go get one of those college coaches from UCLA or Long Beach State or UC Irving or one of them schools out there in the Southern California or the state of California, because Doc Rivers is not that guy, man. This guy, you give him any type of lead, he's gonna blow it. You see what I'm saying? You give him any type of 3-1 lead, he will blow it. He's notoriously known for blowing 3-1 leads. You see what I'm saying? You feel me? And it's just kind of like I said before. So, you know what I mean? Kawhi Leonard's definitely going to regret not staying in Toronto. You feel me? Like, personally, I think so. You know what I mean? Also, as far as what's next for the Toronto Raptors, this is a tough one, man. Honestly, this is a tough one because, you know, free agency. Are we going to re-sign Fred VanVleet? Are we going to give him max dollars? I don't know. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what Masai has up. He said it's a priority, so that seems like they are bringing him back and they're ready to bring him back because he did have that, State of the Union or basically the final, the end of the year. He had that 40-minute or 50-minute, however long that was, conversation. He just basically breaks down the state of the franchise and what to expect next and where we're going and what he thought of this season and where his plans are for next season, in the future. Fred VanVleet, is he a part of that future? I think so. He's a good player. He can shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying? He attacks the rack. He does his thing. Like the guy could play. The man could play. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's a good idea that we resign him. You see what I'm saying? As far as who else, I don't know. Serge Ibaka. Should we keep him? Should we let him go? That's a good question. I don't know. Honestly, it's tough. We got to see what the market's looking like. You feel me? And what he's asking for. You see what I'm saying? He can shoot the ball, but he doesn't play big inside. That's the problem. And when we need him to grab rebounds, he wasn't grabbing the rebounds. But at the same time, he does play hard. When he's forced to do something, he's going to do it. And I think he's definitely a necessity on the team. And I think he's a guy that we definitely need in Toronto. You feel me? So I think Serge Ibaka definitely is a player that should be re-signed with the Toronto Raptors. And I think he will re-sign with the Toronto Raptors. Yeah, I think he'll resign. I think so. I don't see why he wouldn't. You know what I mean? As far as what kind of contract we're gonna give him, I don't know. So I've read reports. They're saying, a $23 million for 1 year and a handshake. I'm like, $23 for 1 year and a handshake. I don't know if Serge Ibaka wants that. I think he wants some sort of stability and making sure that he gets a few seasons in. Because he's like 30 years old or something like that. So he's still got a few years left of basketball in him. You see what I'm saying? At least some solid prime years, maybe two years, 3 years max. I think 3 years would be okay. But at the same time, what direction are we trying to go into? Because the 2021 free agency is about to go down. It's going down. And let me tell you something. That free agency is the free agency of, like I said before in prior videos, that free agency is the free agency. You know what I mean? Like, go look it up. I'm not even going to say anything about it. Literally, everybody and your mother's a free agent that year. All the top dogs are free agents or restricted free agents or free agents. So basically, you could shoot your shot and possibly get one of these guys. You know what I mean? So is that something Masai Ujiri's thinking about? But then remember, too, Masai Ujiri is a free agent in 2021, too. So he's a hot commodity in 2021 as well. So it's kind of like maybe Masai Ujiri's like, you know what? Let me just see what I could do. You know what I mean? Fill in some stuff. Maybe he might be looking and trying to hear some phone calls himself, see what, maybe the Washington Wizards are saying, maybe the Sacramento Kings might have, maybe Philly, maybe Detroit, you know what I mean? Maybe, the Washington Wizards, you see what I'm saying? Maybe even the New York Knicks. Toronto Raptors got tons of money. Yeah. Toronto Raptors got paper out. They got paper out in Toronto. You see what I'm saying? Toronto is not playing when it comes to the money game. So they're going to definitely throw the big bag at him, but other teams will throw the big bag. It's up to him, though, what he wants to do and where he wants to go. Personally, for me, I think Toronto's the best place for him. But, he also does, have those connects out in D.C., and definitely he has a lot of great things he's doing, with, the basketball without borders and the African giant and stuff out in Africa and developing players and out in Africa, has a system out there, and then also he has a system over here in Toronto as well. So, and he definitely, he's definitely checking out the college players. So Masai has his, his hands and his ears and his eyes and everything. So we'll see what he does next, Honestly, we'll see what he does next. As far as the state of the Raptors, though, I think the Raptors are in a good pace, you know what I mean? Like, generally, I think they're in a good place. I think there's Kyle Lowry is getting old, Kyle Lowry definitely is getting old. He has certain things that, he's doing, and we have to see where he's going, what he wants to do next. If he's going to resign with Toronto as well, and he's the heart of the franchise. He's like the engine. You see what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens, man. It's going to be an interesting off season this season and 2021 as well. So there's a lot of things going down. You see what I'm saying, with the NBA and the Toronto Raptors. Toronto Raptors are an interesting place. I don't have the answers. I don't know. You know what I mean? If you think you have the answers, if you may have the answers, let me know. Like, tell me something. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, chime in. You know what I mean? Let me know what you're thinking as well. You feel me? Like, honestly, but it's definitely going to be an interesting off season. You see what I'm saying? So listen, honestly, I came in here. You know what I mean? Supposed to do this a few days ago, but you know what I mean? I've been busy, got a lot of things going on, but I'm definitely gonna be doing some more live streams. This one was real spontaneous, you know what I mean? It was late, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna get this done. So I got more live streams coming up, you know what I mean? You can check once I'm gonna shoot this up so you can check it out and see it afterwards and watch it, you know what I mean? The Raptors have a lot of options, very intriguing offseason for the Toronto Raptors. So we're gonna see what happens next. You know what I'm saying? But yo, it's your guy, Selector, signing out. All right, peace.